Big interview time. This is awesome. Haven't heard from our buddy James Stewart enough lately, so we're going to bring him in for the show. He'll also be on later to talk NXT bets with Clinton. And James, you'll also be in the booth for two live NBC shows there coming up from Philadelphia and New Jersey. But let's talk this stretch run of the championship coming up. It's Sexton versus Webb.
Yeah, I just been sitting back watching these two guys. At one point, we had three with Kenny in, and now you're starting to see guys like my brother Malcolm Stewart and some other guys coming in. But between Chase Sexton and Cooper Webb, I mean, it's a dogfight. It's really a dogfight, and I think Seattle was a perfect example of that. You saw Chase. I think he still probably has the most speed out of both of them, but Cooper Webb was able to somehow reel that race back in. And on a tough Seattle track, I know how gnarly that racetrack is. It is a lot easier being in second, but Cooper did what he needed to do. He allowed Chase, he was in front, he worked him, he kept running in the inside. I think right after you go past the mechanics area, you hit that double, then you hit that triple. That inside line that Cooper was just getting in and just showing a will to Chase was, I think, make or break of the whole race, because he wasn't trying to pass him. What he was trying to do was just startle him and kind of mess up that whole section. And Cooper just does what Cooper did, and he was able to fight off. But you had two athletes out there going back and forth, and I think all year long that their season and how they operate played out in Seattle last weekend.
Well, looking down the stretch, we're going to get some weather. Whether it's this weekend or one of the next few, weather is going to play a role in this thing. So if you were in this championship, you've been in this spot many times, but you're battling for it, do you think there's a little bit of nervousness or pressure that kind of comes off when we have weather in the forecast? Like, how did you view that?
Yeah, when you bring weather in, it hurts. I mean, you start thinking about the things that could go wrong. I mean, whether you're leading the points, or like Cooper Webb or Chase Sexton, you would think a mindset would be Chase Sexton would be doing the rain dance. He needs those points, but in reality, when you're in that spot where he's at, there's no more mistakes. So a first corner or a lapper or something happening because of mud race, it could throw both of you guys championships. So I don't feel like if it's raining that it's going to benefit onset wise on either one. I think they're both going to be nervous about it. And it's just because of all the other things that's outside of your control that can happen. Other riders falling down, just crazy things like that. Once you get into the race, it's just racing. Believe it or not, whether the track's muddy, dry, those guys, if they're close to each other, it's going to seem like just like it was at Seattle, that's how they're going to race. But you get worried about the other things that can happen, and being so close to the end of the championship, you know, one of those mistakes for either one, your championship could be over and at no fault of your own.
Real quick, let's get one in on 250 East. Tom Vial has a 10-point lead. He has not won a race. Is it possible you think he could win the title without winning one?
Yeah, anything's possible. I would say his best shot of winning a race is probably going to be against his coast. I mean, you see, I mean, it's just so deep. So if you're asking me, I think RJ is probably going to end up giving him one, to be honest with you. And I think if RJ gives him one, whether Tom wins the race or not, then I think Tom can ride this thing out. But any kind of champion, they want to win. I don't think Tom wants to win without winning a race. So if you're asking me, I think he needs to. I think he needs to start this weekend. You know, I think he needs to go out there and try to win it. And if he does that, then obviously that answers your question. But who knows? With the showdown coming up, your best opportunity, if I'm Tom Vial, is to win on the East Coast and let the rest happen.
All right, that's going to be awesome stuff with two more of those East-West races on the docket. And yeah, there's not much room for error if you're a Hampshire or Hammaker. We'll see if they can rally. James, always good to talk to you. Yeah, we'll be in the booth together all summer long in Pro Motocross. We'll see you later in this show at Next Bets. But always good to hear from you, man. Championship heads to Foxborough. One more piece of info. That is when and how to watch it. So everything live on Peacock or the SMX Video Pass outside the United States. Race day live coverage of qualifying starts at 1:30 Eastern on Saturday afternoon. It's April 5th. And racing starts at 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll both be there. I keep saying 2025 keeps delivering. So I can't even imagine what's in store next. What more can we see at this point?
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all. So go for it.